Hi, welcome to Spirit Dancer Tarot. I'm James Mandelaire and I'll be your host today. And we'll be seeing what the future holds for 2015. March is my birthday month, so I'm looking forward to that. On March 5th, I turn 58 years old. So I'm looking forward to a new year. 2015 sounds good numerologically speaking. Let's see what the tarot has to say. For this life reading for February, end of last week in February here in 2015, see what the future holds, what the summer and fall and winter of 2015 will hold for us. The tarot is a symbolic art that uses the ancient wisdom encoded in the images to symbolically portray our present moment, the roots in the past, and the potentials for the future. When I say potentials, I want to be clear that I believe that this is an art. And to project the future means to look at many different possible timelines. They're all valid and they all could exist. The tarot tries to get the most positive possibility. And the most positive or spiritual timeline depends on our choices. If we make the right choices, then we can find that golden path, I believe, that lead us to our highest potential and our greatest happiness. And we can find that path by making right choices. And we find the ability to discriminate and judge and make the right choices comes from a spirituality that never ceases to help us to take the high road, not the selfish road, the road that's good for us and good for everybody else. And that's what I do like to see with the tarot. Now, excuse me just a second. Let me refocus my view on the cards themselves. Just a second. High tech, here we go. I think it does behoove me to say that I just think that this whole technological evolution of computers and video cameras and all this that's come together is wonderful. I love it. I hope we live forever. I can come back next life and we can carry on with this excellent technological expansion of consciousness. I believe that the present day expansion of technology and the internet and all that it's brought in its wake of change and awakening to the people is a direct result of the 60s. It's a technological explosion wrought from the many tentacles of peace and love people that have continued to try to progress our human race and our civilization to a more fair and equitable and sustainable and less wasteful and polluting society and economy. We'd like to end the war and the whole civilization that is founded on war and slavery, and initiate a brand new worldwide revolution to remake the world in the image of small, locally sustained communities, sharing a worldwide web of technology in mutual appreciation and respect for all cultures, all religions, all peoples, all folkways, and all lifestyles, allowing people to live as they wish to live as long as it doesn't hurt anybody or the planet. Now, that said, I think we are at a very important crossroads in our time in humanity, and I'm very excited about it. What I'm seeing here with these tarot cards that have come up, I see the Queen of Cups. I see here, as you can see, that old Six of Swords. And I see the Three of Wands. 3-card readings are interesting because the threes, sets up such a symbolic resonance, past, present, and future, inner, outer, mutual worlds. Threes are great for seeing the future because it's about the future, about evolution, the number 3. The Queen of Cups, she is a woman to be desired. She is symbolic in a general sense, I think, of the sensitive, poetic, sensual goddess of wisdom. In my lexicon, she is the goddess of sensuality, But I think in this aspect, she's the artist. Now, the Six of Swords is a card that shows a person who's come halfway across the stream and they want to get to the other side, but they just about had it. And I think that in a lot of ways, we've all come through this time of the internet explosion of knowledge and information that's happened in the last 50 years and come to this final sense that things have to change. It cannot go on the way it is. And that we will change. We have to. It's inevitable. And that change is already occurring. It's occurring in so many ways that are going to become more and more obvious to people as time goes on. And that is going to propel us to that promised land further on. And here we have the Three of Wands, which says that for the past, decades, those of us that have been around for a long time have seen this gradual progression happen. And we are about to enter into a phase where we can begin to build on that success, build on the pluralism that we have now, and build on the sense of goodness and grace that we have in this world now. That is what we're talking about, is that progression. Now, there's that Ten of Swords, which represents getting to the end of it all. I've had it. You can see this poor guy, he's a pincushion for 1,000 failures, 10 of them sticking out of his back there. There's no 11 of Swords, and the sun is coming up on the mountains out there, and the clouds are starting to disperse. The dark night is starting to pass as the dawn comes up. Oh, maybe that's a sunset. And this guy's doomed and he's dead and he's down. He's never coming back and we're food for worms. You can look at it that way if you want. But I prefer to see the sun coming up, the clouds dissipating, and the sources of sorrow ending, because we've just had enough of it. The healing of the Four of Swords shows that for some time now, because I think that position represents the past, we've been underground studying, reassessing, healing, thinking, meditating, praying, keeping to ourselves, not pushing it, because the retrograde forces have been riding so high and the superior people have been pushed out by the inferior people. And, the worst of us are in great positions of power and wealth, while the best of us are obscured, thrown in prison, kicked out, locked underground, outcast. It's been going on a long time. And I've been singing in the streets, and I've been, not getting the position that I interview for, and I've been doing the fast food substitute life for a long time, and now the life is giving me my little niche here with these cards, and it couldn't be better. And that gratitude, that love that we've all felt, and that futility that we've all felt, and our prayers, and our humility to live simply and quietly, not to protest, not to resist, not to fight people who have, nuclear weapons. What's the point? They have smallpox. They have secret CIA weapons that can kill you and make it look like a heart attack. What are you going to do? You're going to fight that? You're going to fight them when they have re-engineered alien technologies and can drive UFOs around? How are you going to fight that? So the only way to make energetic is to make energetic progress in the good and hope for the Ace of Cups to come through. Now, I've hoped for the Ace of Cups to come through for me all my life. It has a few times. Ace of Cups being love. But also, as you can see, the Holy Spirit coming down. So these are blessings as well as blessings of love. Sacred love? Sure. Profane love? There's no such thing. Sensual, sexual love? Possibly. But this has a great blessing to it. A great selfless blessing. Not love for pleasure, but love for gratitude. Sacred love. As a response to the beauty of the universe. That enlightenment that comes at long last, after many lonely hours, many defeats,
I keep hearing in my head my song, Mystic of the Modern Age, where it says, you know, I've been outcast, betrayed, and vilified. Must have failed about 1,000,000 times. Well, there's the Judgment card. The Judgment card is the Archangel Gabriel blowing his horn at the end of the world there. So there he is, blowing his horn. Now there's the Hermit. Now the Hermit, again, echoes back to that Four of Swords. There he is, high on the mountaintop, praying to the light, looking down on this world of ours with sorrow and dismay that his wisdom is not being followed. He's all alone. And boy, that has been the last 20 years of my life, pretty much. And the Ace of Cups renders us the Empress. The Empress. Now, Empress is a queen over queens, and she is ultimately creative. That Ace of Cups. Now, what we have here now are 9 cards that are 3/3s, right? I flipped over 3/3 card readings, as you can see. Now, these are all major arcana cards. These are all heavy hitters that all 3 of them happen to have come out here to say what? That one of these days, that poor hermit is going to find his beloved, the Empress. And I could dig that in a personal way, I'll tell you. It's been a long, long, lonely time. But also in a general way, think about it. Who is this Empress to the world? The Empress of the world. That brings this change, you know? I've always thought if the Christ came again, the Christ would come as a woman this time. A black lesbian woman. You know? Really despised of the world. And she would come and in the power of the Christ and bring in this new age, the Aquarian age. The great goddess, the Empress. There she is. And, you know, for me, maybe this is finally I get the call that somebody calls up and says, you know, the Silent One, I've read all the books and seen all the stuff you got there. You know, Wencia Corlin, the Empress. Wencia the Second. And I finally get the Star King done. But in a general way, I think we are headed for a greater awakening. And that is when the female principle of divinity is finally raised to its equal in devotion, gratitude, and love with the Holy Father of the spirit world. The Empress of this world, sacred, the holy earth, the holy fool, the Aquarian ideal that everyone's a priest or priestess. No one is less than equal. And that's the Great Spirit can get great things done when everybody's equal, because nobody's outcast, nobody's resented, nobody's laughed at, nobody's ridiculed. And, you know, potheads and philosophers and mystics, poets, entrepreneurs, dreamers, spiritualists, mystics, we've all been laughed at, ridiculed, psychics, also no such thing. Well, there is such thing. There are wizards. And wizards are people that study for many years out of devotion to the truth. Not for fame and fortune and sex and money and power, but for truth. And there are millions of us now awakened to a greater truth than the acquiring of power and wealth. These things do not interest us. We care about truth, love, beauty, and saving the planet and humanity from this petroleum nightmare. And that's the message. That 2015 is the turning point. I do believe that. And the cards, I think, are backing me up. Now, I don't know if I can do this so that you can all see it. But what I like to do is make a square. Okay? Let's see. I need a little more room here. If I can do this. I'll mess myself up here. Hold on. It's getting a little long. I know. But I want to be able to let's do this. Can you see that third row up there? Guess not. Boy, I can pick up the camera and show it to you. I think that's where it goes. No, it goes this way. Okay, let's look at this, and we'll see what's going on here. This goes here, this goes here, this goes here, and I'll bring them all together, and we got ourselves a 9-card square. Let's just grab up my little thingy here. Try to bring this into some kind of see, there we go. Now you can see that. Now our first 3 cards were there, right? The Queen of Cups. We're getting somewhere. We're going to get there when we finally get to the end. When it finally gets to the end, our love will save us. And all those lonely hours and all that studying that we did will bring ourselves a new world with the goddess as our beloved. Right? So, I think that says a lot. But what I also like to do with these 3 card readings, if I can, there we go. Excuse me. Is lay out a few more cards. There's the High Priestess. There's the Knight of Pentacles. The 3 of Swords. Always got to have the 3 of Swords. And the Sun. Now this sort of takes those 9 cards, boils them down again on another level to say, what is the effect of the 9 cards? What is the effect of this holy work we've been doing and the love that's going to come to us? Well, the High Priestess is the mystical inner being. The 3 of Swords is a heartache that is resolved through the evolution of love. Sorrows turn to joys. And the resolving of those things that divide us from love and isolate us from each other and from love. So that transformative evolution. The High Priestess, of course, is the mystic, the unconscious, the creative unconscious within us all. Now, this side of it here is very practical. Look at that. It's the sun, which is cosmic consciousness, but it is daily consciousness. It's creativity, it's warmth, it's joy, it's happiness. Just the opposite, of course, of the 3 of Swords. And the Knight of Pentacles is someone who understands process, who works for many years toward a singular goal and finally achieves that goal through persistence, perseverance, through long, hard studies, taking setbacks as they come and heading on. So, through his industrialness, this spirituality becomes conscious, heals up the broken heart, and leads us where? Finally. Back to the sacred. Back to peace and prosperity at long last. And of course, the ultimate truth is we are travelers and we move on. And this could be the year of finding at long last that great peace that comes from a job well done and from having saved the world from disaster and the resurrection of the living universe from the ashes of Dark Age theology and the mechanical fallacy. Because it's all alive inside with being. It's eternal. There are even theories now that say that the Big Bang didn't really happen. That the universe always has existed and always will exist. And that's only apparent, that singularity is only an apparent function. That this is a holographic universe and that we are immortal travelers. And I do believe that. And I think the cards are saying that this year is going to be a great turning point. Personally, in my life, I think it reflects a coming back of those social pleasures and respect and warmth that I was robbed of in this very conservative era that is passing. I think that my work, my music, my poetry, my books, my tarot readings, and all will be much more acceptable. My lifestyle, my blessed sacrament will be legalized and acceptable, and the whole Aquarian spirituality, coined New Age, will be much more accepted, and the symbolic universe and the art of symbolic thought will be much more appreciated. The poetry and myth of sacred thought worldwide will be accepted and understood as cultural poetry, and that wisdom will not be lost on people or seen as a cult or scary. And this, for me, will be great because, the truth is, for me, is I've known all this stuff since I was 12. And all my life I've been faithful to it, and I firmly believe I have been persecuted for it. Just like the Christians of old were persecuted at the end of the Roman Empire, I believe that myself and people like me have also been persecuted by this decay of the American Empire, which has been ruled by bankers and fascists for the past 200 years and really needs to change. And that change is soon to come, to bring us the peace and the love that we've long been missing in our world and in our personal lives. Well, I think that's it. I'll cut the deck for one more card for you. Let's see what it is. I like to do this, kind of give you a summation. The Seven of Swords, Seven of Cups, hello. Make your wishes come true. Keep dreaming. It is coming true around us. If we visualize it now and take our 100 breaths a day, and calm our bodies and calm our chatty little minds, we can create a better future and really enjoy and create even better works of art. Great movies, great books, great tarot readings, great paintings, great songs. It's been my life. It's been quite of a creative one, and I have really enjoyed it. And it sure would be great if the sun could shine in my works and my ideas and all of our ideas that we've flower children have clung to all these years and believed in, despite the crusade against it. That summer of love will come again, and only this time it won't be so strange and weird and crazy and scary that the rest of the world will shun it and turn into a Ronald Reagan nightmare, but that progressive spirit will shine through, and everybody will sign on, because now it's been many years, and many of the things that were once the purview of hippie freaks, it's now been much more accepted. And so, to that spirit of the Holy Fool, the great flower child spirit, I dedicate my life and my work, and I thank you for listening. If you'd like a reading, please let me know. I'd be glad to do a personal reading for you. You might enjoy that. There's a couple of ways you can do that. You can research how to do that, certainly. I'll leave you some links so you can get a hold of me in the comments. So check that out. If you'd like to subscribe to my channel, I'll be uploading more tarot videos and other videos. Also, check out my Facebook page. And I have many pages: Jam Mandala, Lunge the Dinosaur, my art page, James Mandolare. Just look it up, Mandolare. A Spirit Dancer Tarot is also a Facebook page where you can see tarot readings and such. But I'd love to hear from you, so please get a hold of us anytime here at Aquarian Productions, and I'll show you the poster in just a second. Thanks. Appreciate it. Many blessings from Spirit Dancer Tarot and your friend and mine, James Mandolare.